This is William K. Murtaugh, Witness 1. Well, we are hump day today, and what we are going to talk about are marks. And no, I don't mean the grades you get in grade school, high school, or college. I'm talking about people that are easy prey for con artists. And especially con artists that are involved in the Qanon movement. The Qanon movement is a gold mine for con artists, for frauds, for cheaters, for grifters. They have a pool of millions of people who are prey to the easy influence of a well-organized and skillful con artist. And there are a lot of them out there. They recognize that there are people out there that are willing to part with their hard-earned money simply because of politics. These are people that are naturally inclined not to like Democrats, liberals, Antifa, or anybody anywhere close to being on the left. And that's when someone comes along and preaches to them, they fall for it. They worship the con artist. They're willing to give them their time, their money. They even volunteer to help them out. This sort of thing's been going on for centuries. And in this day and age of the internet, con artists have found themselves probably one of the easiest ways to make money off the ignorant that has ever been devised. And there's one individual in particular that seems to be rather good at it, and that is this real estate broker from southeast Minnesota. Now, a few days ago, I got a phone call and was asked if I could come for a second visit. And I said yes, and that's where I'm at today. I am on my way from having a conversation with the same people I had a conversation with in September, and it was quite a learning experience, where now I understand the full scope of what's going on and why. It appears that we have a lot of racketeering going on. That is, there are allegations that a certain group of people are making tens of thousands of dollars. The estimate is well over $1 million by falsely proclaiming that they are part of the Trump administration, the former Trump administration, that they have semi-direct connections with the President of the United States, that they are raising funds based on that connection. And these are not small funds that you would get on just maybe one or two PayPal accounts or having someone send you prepaid credit cards and that sort of thing. This is a well-organized enterprise that is systematically draining people of their hard-earned cash based on a lie. And the problem here is there are a lot of groups like this particular group that are well organized, grafting mills, coming up with new and ingenious ways of stealing money from people by lying about who they are and what they are. Now, as I have said many times before, this is commonly known as wire fraud, because you are deriving funds from the internet based on false pretenses, false premises, false representation. Everything you say and do in order to raise money is a lie. And if it's one or two individuals doing it, it's simple wire fraud. But if you get a group of people working together to falsely represent yourself in a way where you get funds from unsuspecting people, then you are entering into the realm of racketeering. And this apparently is where these people are. They are being investigated for racketeering. This falls under RICO, which is a racketeering and influence crime organization. Something along those lines. I always get the acronym messed up a little bit. But as it has been explained to me, this is the direction they are going in their investigation of this particular group. There's quite a number of people involved. They're talking about it right at 20 people that are involved in some way, shape, or form in this racketeering organization. And the revenue that's been generated by these people has grown to the point where the federal authorities are paying much more attention to it than I even thought. Now, in investigations close to this, some mitigation offers have been offered for information on people in the higher echelons of the alt-right groups, be they the Qanons or some of these other groups that have been linked to the insurrection of the Capitol and other high crimes and misdemeanors. What has been offered is, if these people are able to come up with information of significant importance to authorities that would lead to the arrest and conviction of some of these domestic terrorist groups, and they might be able to offer, say, immunity from prosecution, reduced sentences, probation, parole, or other mitigation to soften whatever punishment might be derived if they had not cooperated. And these people have chosen to cooperate. Now, this does not mean that they are not going to face some punishment for their crimes. The problem is with this investigation is it has come to the attention of the authorities that these people are continuing their actions. Part of the original agreement that was being worked out was that these people were to stop doing what they were doing. That they were to cease the fundraising, they were to cease making these claims, and so on and so forth. And they have continued their actions. Now, this is partly due to the fact that only one or two individuals tied to this organization is cooperating with the authorities. One of these individuals is someone that is known as the quote-unquote award-winning journalist. It is partly explaining why this individual has not been seen on the internet. Why he has not made videos, why he has not put pictures of himself up there for all to see, and why he is remaining hidden. The reason, allegedly, is because he is cooperating with authorities to provide names and other information of individuals of interest to them. The other individual who is thought to have been cooperating was the real estate broker from Minnesota. It now seems, however, that she is refusing to cooperate, or at best, that she is misleading authorities in her cooperation, and that she is still continuing her criminal actions, or should I say alleged criminal actions, that have to do directly with QAnon or with other money-raising schemes that she is participating in. The latter would be getting involved with grooming women who are having problems with CPS and other governmental agencies charged with protecting children, and that she is promising to deal with these agencies and procure custody of the children back to the birth parent. She falsely claims to have connections with the United States government, that she is someone that provides information on various criminal actions involving child trafficking, different ritual abuses, so on and so forth, when in fact she has virtually no connection of any kind with any branch of any country government, be that the United States or any other country. She is a complete and absolute fraud, and she is taking advantage of desperate, vulnerable women in order to bilk them money that she claims would be for the cause of helping them get their children back. And there is also the question of whether or not these people are actually engaging in child trafficking for whatever purposes. Because there is still the question as to why a woman from Colorado was led to believe that she needed to get a diplomatic passport or some kind of paperwork that would exempt her from the laws of the United States, and that would allow her to take her children, including one that was currently in foster care, out of the United States. You know, that vast sums of money were given to this woman to travel from the state of Colorado to the state of Wisconsin, from the state of Wisconsin to the state of Virginia, where it is alleged that she procured some paperwork that promised that she had some kind of diplomatic immunity, and that she would be able to gain custody of her child, get the other child, and with both children, depart the United States to a foreign country, and would somehow be able to live out her life with her children without fear of the United States government arresting her or taking her children back. This is also what the United States government is investigating, is to what would have become of this woman and other women involved in this scheme had they been able to get their children out of the United States. What would have been the fate of these mothers? What would have been the fate of the children? what information did the ringleaders of this operation give these victimized mothers that would make them think that they would be able to leave the United States with their child or children and be safe from prosecution or other retribution from the United States? Were they being persuaded that they were going to be taken to a country that had no extradition agreement with the United States? And what would these countries be? All this is being investigated. All the questions are being asked by authorities as to what were these people up to? What was their principal motivation other than making a great deal of money off these women? For the most part, these women were economically disadvantaged. They didn't have a lot of money. And yet, someone was willing to give these women thousands of dollars to plan out the abduction of their own children from foster care, possibly kill or injure the foster parents, somehow get these children out of the United States to a foreign country. And what would happen to these children in these foreign countries would be virtually unknown. These are answers the government is trying to get. And part of the explanation as to where the funding is coming from seems to be it is coming from QAnon. That these people have organized fundraising avenues on the various sites that are visited by ardent believers in the QAnon movement that are willing to dole out tremendous amounts of money in order to fund this operation. This in turn allows these ringleaders to somehow persuade vulnerable mothers to act illegally to get their children, and then get these children and their parents, or mothers in this case, out of the United States. And this is not confined to the United States. This apparently is an international effort that these groups are working in other countries with similar setups to get the mothers of these children that are having disputes with government-run child protection agencies out of those countries. And the question has to be, what country are these children being taken to? So in summary, it looks like we have a group of con artists that are declaring that they are in the business to end child trafficking, when in fact what they are actually doing is engaging in child trafficking, taking advantage of desperate mothers who have lost their children to child protection services or who are about to lose custody of their children to child protective services. The answers of all these questions is part of an ongoing investigation, and hopefully someday, as soon as possible, we will have the answers to all these questions, and perhaps those who are responsible for these criminal actions will be brought to justice. This is William K. Murtaugh, Witness 1. Please like, subscribe, share, and hit the notification, because I intend to uncover whatever the hell it is that is going on. And again, this is William K. Murtaugh, Mert Witness 1. Have a good one.